Let me ask you something that most people are too afraid to answer honestly. Have you ever sat in a room full of people and felt like you were operating on a completely different frequency? Like you see things others don't, feel things others ignore, ask questions others never even think to ask, and instead of feeling proud of that, you felt alone in it. If that sounds familiar, this video is going to feel like someone finally put words to something you've carried your whole life. Because today, we're revealing 8 rare psychological traits found only in deep thinkers, traits that most people never even recognize in themselves. These aren't just interesting facts, these are backed by psychology research, and by the end of this video, you're going to understand your own mind in a way you never have before. Stay with me, because trait number 7 is the one that surprises people the most. Trait number 1, pattern thinking. Here's something that happens to deep thinkers constantly, and they rarely talk about it. They walk into a room, and within minutes, they already know who's stressed, who's hiding something, and where the tension is. Not because someone told them, but because their brain automatically connects dots that other people don't even see as dots. A deep thinker might notice that every Monday morning, their coworker snaps at small things and piece together that it's not the coworker's fault, it's the 9 a.m. meeting with the difficult manager. Nobody else noticed. They saw it on week 2. Research shows that pattern recognition is one of the strongest predictors of both emotional intelligence and long-term decision-making. Because when you see patterns, you stop being surprised by life. You start anticipating it. And that changes everything about how you move through the world. Trait number 2, high emotional awareness. This one is both a gift and a burden. Deep thinkers don't just feel their own emotions clearly, they absorb the emotions of the room around them. A slight shift in someone's voice, a micro-expression that lasts half a second, the way someone crosses their arms just a little tighter than usual. Most people miss this completely. Deep thinkers cannot miss it even if they try. Imagine walking into a work meeting. The agenda looks normal, but within 2 minutes, you feel it. Something is wrong. Someone is angry. Someone is hiding news. And you're right every time. The research calls this heightened affective sensitivity, the ability to read emotional signals at a level most brains filter out. It means deep thinkers carry more emotional information than others, which can be exhausting, but also makes them extraordinary at navigating human relationships. Now pause for a second. Are you starting to recognize yourself in these traits? Most people watching this will feel a quiet recognition, like someone is finally describing something they always knew about themselves, but never had the words for. Keep watching because it gets deeper. Trait number 3, endless curiosity. Here is the difference between a deep thinker and everyone else. Most people see a statistic and move on. A deep thinker sees the same statistic and thinks, who funded this study? What were they trying to prove? Does this actually match what I've observed? That's not cynicism, that's intellectual precision. Deep thinkers never accept things at face value, not because they're difficult, but because their brain physically cannot stop at the surface. Every answer creates 3 new questions, and while that can drive people around them crazy sometimes, it's exactly why deep thinkers accumulate knowledge at a rate that quietly puts them years ahead of their peers. Trait number 4, long-term perspective. Ask most people what they want, and they'll describe something they can get this week. Ask a deep thinker, and they'll describe something they're building over the next decade. They make decisions that feel strange to people around them. They'll skip a weekend of spending to invest in a course. They'll pass on a quick opportunity because it doesn't align with where they're going. They'll sit with discomfort today because they can vividly see the payoff in year 5. A 2018 study from Harvard found that individuals with strong future self connection, the ability to feel emotionally close to their future self, make dramatically better financial, health, and career decisions. Deep thinkers have this naturally. They're not just thinking about today's version of themselves, They're making decisions on behalf of the person they're becoming. Check in with yourself right now. How far ahead do you naturally think? If you found yourself nodding at trait 4, the next one is going to explain something a lot of people in your life have probably misunderstood about you. Trait number 5, solitude recharges them. Here's something deep thinkers hear constantly. Why are you so quiet? You should get out more. Why do you need so much alone time? And they've learned to just smile and let it go, because explaining it takes energy they'd rather spend thinking. Deep thinkers don't avoid people because they dislike them. They seek solitude because that's where their best thinking happens. In quiet, patterns become clear. In silence, creativity fires. In solitude, they process the information they've absorbed from the world around them. Think of it like a high-performance engine. It runs incredible when it has the right conditions. Put it in the wrong environment, constant noise, constant demands, constant input, and it overheats. Solitude isn't isolation. For a deep thinker, it's maintenance. Trait number 6, subtle observation. This one operates almost below the level of consciousness. A deep thinker walks into a room and notices the way a person shifts their weight when a certain topic comes up, the half-second hesitation before someone says, "I'm fine," the way a smile reaches someone's eyes or doesn't. These aren't things they decide to notice. Their brain captures them automatically, and it builds a complete picture of every person they interact with, far richer and more accurate than what anyone actually said out loud. For example, a colleague is about to present in a meeting. They're fidgeting with their pen. Their voice is slightly higher than usual. Everyone else sees a normal presentation beginning. The deep thinker sees someone about to struggle and quietly adjusts, asks an easy question first, creates space without making a single announcement. This is why deep thinkers are often described as unusually perceptive, and why they make people feel deeply understood without quite knowing why. Trait number 7, emotional independence. And here it is, the one that surprises people most. Deep thinkers are extraordinarily difficult to manipulate, not because they're cold, not because they don't care what people think, but because their decisions come from a different place entirely. They run things through their own internal logic first. They question trends, popular opinions, consensus. They ask, does this actually make sense or does it just feel comfortable? Imagine a boardroom where everyone agrees on a decision. There's excitement, momentum, peer pressure in the room, and one person quietly says, "I understand the enthusiasm, but here's why this won't work." And they're right, and they knew it before anyone spoke. Research from Stanford calls this epistemic autonomy, the ability to form beliefs based on evidence rather than social pressure. It's rare, and it makes deep thinkers exceptionally valuable, even when they make them temporarily unpopular. And trait number 8, lifelong learning. While most people stop actively learning after school, deep thinkers never stop, not because someone told them to, but because curiosity is their natural state. They read books outside their field. They explore psychology, philosophy, science, history. They watch a documentary and immediately want to go deeper. And quietly, without announcing it, their understanding of the world accumulates into something most people never reach. This isn't about being the smartest person in the room. It's about never being satisfied with what you already know. Because for a deep thinker, the more they learn, the more they realize how much more there is to understand. And that realization, rather than being discouraging, is exactly what keeps them moving forward. So here's what I want you to take from all of this. If you recognized yourself in these 8 traits, even in 3 or 4 of them, understand something important. The way your mind works is not ordinary. The pattern recognition, the emotional awareness, the curiosity that never switches off, the solitude you need, the long game you're playing. These aren't quirks. They're not things to apologize for or hide. They are the architecture of a mind built for a different level of thinking. The world needs people who see what others miss, who feel what others ignore, who ask what others never think to question. That person might be you. Drop a comment below. Which trait felt most like you? I read every single one.
And if this video gave you something today, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe for more deep dives into psychology, mindset, and the way extraordinary minds actually work. I'll see you in the next one.